There. Was that so difficult? Bruins lose 3-2 to the Buffalo Sabres in overtime. Welcome back down into the net, everybody. If I sound weird, it's because post-nasal drip is assaulting my sinuses, just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and back and forth and forth and back and forth. It is just cannot breathe in through my nose. It is. I'm not even allergic to pollen. I have no idea what's going on. But going into this game, we had last game to process. I mean, we could show some highlights from last episode right here. Oh my god! 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 They embarrassed themselves. Zadorov is going to give me an aneurysm, and we have him on contract for the next 5 years after this! Andrew Peak, thank you so much! Peak, you finally are justifying your existence on this roster.
Thanks for standing still, wanker.
The Bruins don't even get a single, not one single solitary shot on goal through the entire second period. God decided to ask, who's got Gage Gonsalves on this play? Both Laurie and Wotherspoon both decided to raise their hands and said, oh, me, I have him. The worst 20 minutes of hockey that the Bruins have played all season. Don Sweeney could roll Patrice Bergeron up in a carpet, dump him in concrete, and then throw him off the Zakim Bridge, and Charlie Jacobs would still find an excuse to extend Sweeney for 3 years. I don't know if I'm going to make it, Macklin. Not pretty. Not pretty at all. But I did have one ask. You're allowed to lose, just don't make it embarrassing. And they didn't make it embarrassing. Okay, maybe there was a little part of it that was embarrassing, but ultimately, this was a lot better than the game against Tampa. I'm going to be skipping the whole plug thing at the start of this episode, because for as much as I plug this, it is never going to be as plugged as my nose is right now. This is just painful. So, to make me less miserable, hit that like button, comment down below what you thought of this game, and subscribe to the channel. You just said you wouldn't do it. Yeah, I know, and people lie sometimes. Get with the program.
What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
So we had Korpi in net for this one against Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. And this game gets out to a really good start. Like a really, really good start. A goal from Zacha and from Geekie. Oh my god, the goal from Geekie. Just a breakaway, leaving everyone in his dust. And just making UPL look like the UPS guy. I swear, by the end of this season, Geekie should have the 7th player award. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Morgan Geekie has done more than enough to warrant it. 23 goals this season. Keep in mind, before he even got to the Bruins, he hadn't hit double digits at all. He didn't get a chance in Carolina. He didn't get a chance in Seattle. We gave him a chance here, and he is thriving. He's going to get a bag and a half in free agency, and I really hope that the Bruins keep him, but I can also understand if we don't. But take note, front office, this is what happens when you give young guys a chance. We get the goal from Peyton Krebs, and it's a 2-1 game at the end of the first. Start of the second, Krebs ends up getting hit with the puck while on the bench, and that's never fun. Never fun to get hit in the face with the puck. Giant brick of vulcanized rubber. I know it's rubber, but it's still gonna freaking hurt. And the Bruins and Sabres are keeping pace really well with each other. I mean, they're the Tweedledee and Tweedledum of the Atlantic this year. Neither of them are good. And yet somehow the Bruins are like very close to a playoff spot. I guess the Eastern Conference is just a unholy miasma of like maybe 3 contenders total, and just all of the pretenders. all of the pretenders. Toronto started this month at the top of the division, and they are dangerously close to falling all the way to a wild card spot. If they slip up even further, they might even fall out of the playoffs entirely. Although, for what it's worth, they did just win against Calgary, so who knows. I gotta say, though, well, even though I don't like using the refs as an excuse for anything, the reffing was awful in this game. The reffing was terrible. Well, end of the second period, I know I've made my frustrations with Ian Mitchell painfully clear. That was not a trip. Usually they allow plays like that to happen because the guy is playing the puck. Ian Mitchell swats the puck low away from Jack Quinn, and Quinn's next stride just so happens to be on Mitchell's stick. Like, Mitchell is playing the puck here. That is, yes, he puts the stick in a position where Quinn can step on it, but ultimately that is Quinn's responsibility. That is not a trip. That is a hockey play. And it eventually gets to Husnudinov taking a penalty in overtime after the Owen Power goal. And it's another one of swatting the puck away, and it gets tangled up in someone's legs. And yes, technically, that is a trip. But Pasta was also feeling it. David Pastrnak, I adore, and I think that he is fantastic. He is probably the best winger in the entire National Hockey League. And if he's getting pissed about the reffing, I'm probably going to see where he's coming from. And yeah, the refs did kind of screw the Bruins here. Now, I'm not going to act like the refs were the entire reason the Bruins lost. They started the third period with the same amount of shots as the Sabres. They end the game with 10 less shots, which offensive consistency is frustrating right now. The defense can't get the puck out for the neutral zone for the offense to take it over and get it through, and the offense can't hold on to the puck long enough for before it goes back to before the defense gets caught off guard and the goalie has to make a big save. Which, by the way, this might have been Korpisalo's best game. He, from start to finish, he was making dive after dive after diving save to try and keep the puck away from the net. He was looking like Ullmark in this game. And that's what we love to hear. That's what we love to see. But ultimately, you can only prop up your defense so long. And that's exactly what happened here. Admittedly, it was because the Bruins were on the penalty kill, because of a bad penalty call, but the Bruins defense caved and allowed Alex Tuch to tuck in the overtime winner, and there's the game. Listen, I should probably clarify. I'm not happy when the Bruins lose. I know I've said that losing is what they should be doing, but ultimately, I still do want to see this team succeed. And I feel like I sort of implied this in the Ottawa game, but I would rather see them get out to a really slow start and then show throughout the rest of the game what they're capable of, so that we don't have to have the conversation of, can this team win? It's, how is this team developing? I would rather the last 13 games of this season be spent asking the question of how well this team is developing, not how well this team is performing. And considering that Fraser Minton, the forward that the Bruins got in the trade that sent Brandon Carlo to the Leafs, considering he just had a natural hat trick in Providence, I could see a future where he gets called up. And admittedly, there is a part of me that can understand why you would keep him and Farinacci and Merkulov and Lysell and Brunet down in Providence for the rest of the season. Let them get more time in Providence. and let them and allow them to showcase their skills in the Calder Cup playoffs. That does make sense to me. But I think at this point you have to play these guys for game 82. Game 82 almost always serves as just sit back and let the kids play. You don't need to go into game 82 with many expectations. But the one thing that I will expect is that some of the young guys get called up. You look at game 82 of the 2021-2022 season, the first season I ever did of LFR. Charlie Coyle was the only player that played 82 games that season on the Bruins. Everybody else missed some time here and there, and they used that last game to call up some of the younger players just to see what they had. You don't really leave anything on the table for game 82. That's sort of when you empty the clip and just roll it. That's really it. I would rather see this team win than lose, but I'd also rather see this team develop than trying to push the rock up the hill. So that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. I will try to take care of my sinuses. This is painful. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.